Okay, it was super good fun to grow them. If you haven't seen the playlist already, we grew these from seed. Go and check it out in the link in the description. It was really good fun. DWC from Growilla Hydroponics. We are now going to process these. We're going to preserve them in oil. We found a little recipe here. We've taken some things out and we've added some other things in. First thing we need to do is sterilize the jars. And yeah, let's preserve some peppers. Hello, my name's Ian. Welcome back to the Grow Zone. Today we're going to preserve some peppers that we grew in our DWC system from Growilla Hydroponics. The first thing you need to do when you are putting anything in a jar is to sterilize the equipment. These kiln the jars have a 2-piece lid. You don't need to sterilize the ring, so we're not going to. What we're going to do is put the lids into a saucepan and put boiling water onto them and just leave them sat in the boiling water for a little while. We've preheated the oven to 140-ish degrees centigrade, and this is just on normal oven mode, not on fan mode. We're going to add the jars with their lids off into the oven and leave them for 20 minutes, and that's going to sterilize them. Okay, the oven's up to temperature, 140 degrees Celsius. I'm going to pull this tray out. It's on just below the middle shelf. I'm going to put some baking paper down to put our jars onto. And we're going to put them in the oven. I'm not sure if we're going to use all 4, but we've got them, so we're going to sterilize them anyway. Shelf back in, and 20 minutes on the timer. Okay, the jars are sterilizing in the oven. They're going to be there for 20 minutes. Good time to prepare some other bits and pieces. I'm going to take a big baking tray here, baking paper, lay it down. I'm going to add our peppers onto this. We're going to put these peppers into the grill, and we're going to have a look at them every couple of minutes and turn them here and there. And we want the skins to be blackened and charred. We're then going to add them back into our bowl, which is heat proof, it's metal. I'm going to put a lid onto it, and the peppers are going to steam. This is going to allow us to take the skins off nice and easily. And you'll see when we take them out, they're going to be blackened and charred. It's really important. And they'll start to blister, and it'll be really easy to peel off to remove the seeds and the stems. Okay, the other thing we can do is to take these lids out of the boiling water they've been sat in. I'm going to get a few clean sheets of kitchen paper like that, and try not to touch them. They need to be sterilized, and they need to be cool as well. So we're going to put them on there, these little tongs, and they should cool down in plenty of time. Oh, there is 2 there. There. Great. There's 10 minutes left for the jars to sterilize. In the meantime, we're going to get some bits and pieces ready for the brine. We're going to have a 1/4 cup of sugar in there. I'm going to thinly slice some garlic, just 1 of these cloves. We're going to have 1 cup of white wine vinegar and 1 cup of water and 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Okay, we've got 1 cup of water going in with this sugar, and we're going to have 1 cup of white wine vinegar. And we're going to add the garlic to this as well. One and a half teaspoons of salt. It's quite a big spoon actually, so I'll just go like that. Yeah, and we'll show you what we're going to do with that a little bit later. The jars are nearly ready, then we're going to process our peppers in the grill. Okay, there's our timer for the jars. Let's get them out, and we'll put them on a metal surface or somewhere heat proof, and we're going to let them cool. Nearly. Okay, while we're here, the oven's nice and hot, we're going to switch over to grill and lower this down. just a little bit. So we're ready to put in our peppers. Let's get our peppers in. Like I said before, we need to keep an eye on these, and we're going to open up the oven and turn them every couple of minutes until they're nice and charred. Okay, it's been around 15-20 minutes. We actually had to turn the heat up a little bit, and as you can see, they're looking pretty well charred. We've turned them 3 times now, and I think that we're pretty happy with these. If you want to, you can do a little bit more, so they are blackened all the way around. See, this little section here is a bit red, but I think this is going to be good. And as you can see, the skins are nice and loosened. We're going to transfer these into a heat-proof bowl, and we're going to put a lid on, or you can cover it in some way, and they're going to steam for 10 minutes. Just get a big pan lid, we'll put that on top, and they're going to steam in there for 10 minutes. Okay, whilst our peppers are steaming in the heat-proof bowl over there, we're going to just bring this brine solution to the boil. This is 1 cup of white wine vinegar, 1 cup of water, 1/4 cup of sugar, 1 clove of garlic, you can put more in if you like, and 1.5 teaspoons of salt. I'm going to give it a little whiz around, get it into our saucepan and bring it to the boil. Okay, so it's been 10 minutes. Let's have a look at what they've done. They've been steaming. Oh, okay. What we're going to do now is process these peppers. It should be nice and easy. They're going to be a little bit hot. My hands are clean, the knife is clean, the chopping board's clean. We're going to remove their charred skins, cut them down the middle, take their seeds out and their stalks and any inside bits. Cut them into strips and add them back into this small bowl. We'll put you down somewhere and speed the process up so you can come along for the ride. Okay, the peppers are processed. That took a little while longer than I thought it was going to. Once you got the hang of it, you could sort of peel the skin back to the top of the stem, and then the seed pod would come out nicely. Lovely juices in there. I did try and get as much of the seeds out as possible, but there are still some floating about. We're going to leave it in this metal heat-proof bowl, and we're going to pour the brine, which we brought to the boil earlier, over the top, and I'm going to put a lid on that as well, and we'll let it steep for 1 hour in this solution. And again, I'm going to just push them down a little bit so they're submerged. I'm going to put a lid on. We'll see you on the other side. Okay, so it's been just over an hour. The peppers have been sat steeping in the brine. The smell is amazing. I wish you could experience it. I hope you will if you do this yourself. We're now going to take these peppers here and we're going to drain them. Drain the brine off. It's done its job and it should help to preserve the peppers. And we're going to save a little bit of brine, a couple of tablespoons to pour over when we've added them to the jars. Left at the bottom there. Wonderful colour. Okay, let's put them in the jars. So we've got all our bits and pieces here from when we sterilised the jars earlier in the video. I've been careful not to touch anything. Tops of the jars, even the sides of the jars. We've got our lids here and our ring tops ready to go. I've chosen the smaller of the jars. We have two big ones as well. We'll start with those and hopefully pack in the peppers nice and tight. We're going to add a little bit of brine and then fill up with olive oil until the peppers are covered. Okay, let's get them in. So I'm going to add the leftover brine that I had from when we drained them. On top. Okay, that's it. The peppers are in the jars. The oil is on top of them. These need to sit at room temperature for 24 hours, and then you need to check the level of the oil. Once you've done that, you're happy with the oil level. They need to cure for another 2 days, and then they can be refrigerated for up to 3 months and enjoyed as a side dish or on their own or however you like. If you haven't seen the playlist on how we grew these peppers in our DWC system, go and check that out, links in the description. There's also helpful articles on our blog about sterilising jars and preparing all these bits and pieces and equipment. Super handy, lots of different ways to do it. Yeah, stay tuned for more videos and we'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.